Welcome back to Live at 4:30. With the elections upon us, we wanted to talk about politics, or rather, not talk about politics in the workplace.
So joining us live this afternoon is Human Resource Advisor Kim Kozlik with some tips on political conversation at work. Now, we have a different situation here in the newsroom, but for the everyday person in their workplace, how should they approach that conversation?
Sure. So political beliefs are really based on just that, our belief system. And so it's unlikely that you'll be able to change somebody's mind based on their beliefs. You also want to avoid giving the impression that you're attacking someone for their beliefs. And so that can cause a lot of distraction and disruption in the workplace.
So here in the newsroom, because we cover politics, we talk politics. But when you talk about that exercise of free speech, how does that apply in the work zone?
Sure. So a lot of people will think that because they have the First Amendment right of free speech, that they have an ability to openly discuss their political opinions and beliefs. And that's not necessarily the case in the workplace. The National Labor Relations Association, which protects unionized and non-unionized employees, states that employees can engage in protected activity to discuss working conditions and benefits as it relates to employment. And so political discussions are permitted as long as it is related to employment issues.
Within those guidelines.
Exactly. So what are some guidelines that employers and employees should use going forth? We still got 24 hours.
Sure. So for example, I could say we should vote for this candidate because they favor the increase to minimum wage and that would benefit our company. That's protected speech and is acceptable in the workplace. However, if I were to say you should vote for candidate X because they're good for Wisconsin, that's not protected speech.
So is this usually fall within the HR range that you get that call this time of year saying, hey, there's been too much of a conversation, or HR needs to know they got to set down those guidelines before the political season upon us? Although we can talk politics pretty much 24/7 any time of the year, but it comes up during election season.
Sure, absolutely.
So it's best to set those guidelines.
Yes, establish your expectations, and if it does get heated, it can very easily become a situation where there could be claims of harassment or a hostile work environment. And so employers need to be careful or aware that if those claims do become an issue, to follow their normal disciplinary process.
Okay.
Right.
Good information. We appreciate you coming in and sharing that with us.